Hello and welcome to this webinar about the trifecta of documents, issues, and models in Solibri with Catenda Hub. My name is Sjaak Velthoven and I'm a customer support specialist at Catenda. I'm originally an architect and think it's important to work together and collaborate in the construction industry. Today we'll be looking at how we can work together with other people in the construction project. We will be looking at the ecosystem of the different softwares that people use in the project, and we will be looking at the open way. How can I share what I'm doing with the other people in the project? Then we will be going into some more specifics and look into exactly how we can do that. So first, let's look at the Catenda ecosystem. So in the data-driven construction environment that we find ourselves in today, there are a lot of different softwares, and everyone hangs out in their own software and does their own things. And not everyone has access to all the different softwares at once. And so if you want to share a file with another, you can't just share the file that you're working with because they cannot open it. So in order to be able to collaborate, Catenda has a lot of plugins in all of these different programs so that the people that are working on each their end can come together in one central hub and collaborate on these different issues that happen in the project along the way. So being able to share is very valuable. Being able to share is always based on having the most recent information. Because if what you are sharing is based on old information, then you might not be sharing the right things in the first place. So the first place to start is getting the latest information from the construction project and making sure that your files are up to date. So if you're working in your local environment, right, and you're doing your quality check and seeing if the objects are part of your model, you're doing model validation to see if there are properties in your objects, and clash detection to see if the objects in the models are intersecting with each other in ways they shouldn't. You want that all to be based on the most recent version, because if you're complaining about something not fitting right, but it's already been updated by someone else, that's a waste of time, right? That's time lost, that's money lost, that's not good. So we want to find the latest information. To do this, we will be getting information from Catenda Hub, and you'll be seeing that we will be doing this entire workflow without even seeing a file. We will not open the Explorer. We will not see the file. We will just be within Solibri. We won't even go to Catenda. We will just be in Solibri and just do our thing and work together with all the other people in the project that are doing their own thing. So it's all synchronized in the cloud. And this is made possible through the use of IFC open standard files that can be interchanged with each other. So we'll be seeing how we can get our IFC files, but also how we can get the latest construction drawings, because a lot of things happen in 2D still as well, right? Then we will be seeing that if you are working in your local environment, you might have a colleague that has the same setup. So if you want to share your setup, or if you want to share what you're working with, the file you're working with a colleague, you can maybe collaborate on one file and always be sure that you're working on that latest version of that file with your colleague. So we'll be looking into how to do that. And then finally, we will be able to take the result of the quality control that we're doing in Solibri and collaborate with that. We can communicate about the different things that we are working with and talking about them together with other people that are off on their side of the construction project. And that is done through the BCF open standard, which is, you can think of it like email, for example. But with email conversations, things often get lost, and it's hard to sift through many emails to find the right one. And so BCF gives you some more tools in searchability, history, and being able to assign tasks to different people in the project. Okay, with that said, I want to go into Solibri and see what things look like there. If you want to follow along, you can. I will be using a PDF file and an IFC file. So when you open up Solibri, this is what it will look like. Here you would open up an IFC file to check models, to check objects in models from your local system. But as I'm saying that we are not opening any Explorer, we will not be opening these files from our local system. Instead, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be clicking on integrations. Here you see the Documents API that we can connect to. So if you click on Connect, you will see this menu pop up. So if I click on the list, I can choose Catenda and click OK. So I'm now connected to Catenda. To open up a file from Catenda, I can click on Open. A tab will now open up in your default browser. If you go back to Solibri, you can see that it's waiting for a response. So in our browser here, we can choose to go to a project. So I'm going to go to the demo project here, and I'm going to find an IFC file. So I could find my IFC file from the models section, but recently models have been connected to documents in Catenda Hub, and maybe there are a lot of models and it's hard to find it here. Then I can go to the documents section and find my model in the file structure. So I can click on the IFC model here, and you see the right panel opened up. So I can click on download. Okay. Documents received, and I can close the tab. Great. Let's go back to Solibri and see what is happening here. Okay, my model has opened up. We have a model name. We assign it the architectural discipline. Okay, great. So this is slightly different from your regular IFC file from your local computer, because as you can see here in the model, it has a version number. So this is version 24 as it is on Catenda, and it has a hyperlink. So if we right click on it, we can go to hyperlinks and we can edit and see that there's a Catenda hyperlink. So if I click on it, you see that this hyperlink links to a web page where usually it would link to a file explorer area. So we're just going to close this, and I want to show why a hyperlink is valuable. So if we right click on the model again, we can click on Update Models. So here you see the model, and you can choose how you want to update this model. So you can set it to automatic, for example. So if a new version is pushed to Catenda by someone, then it would update automatically. But maybe you are in the middle of a workflow and you don't want it to update automatically. So then you could choose prompt, where you would get notified in Solibri if there's a new version, and you can choose to update or wait to update later. You could also set it to update here, and you can update manually. There we go. So now we are on the latest version. Great. So this is an IFC drawing, but I want to see the site around my IFC model, and I want to get a drawing as an underlay here to get a little bit more context. So I'm going to go back to File and once again open up Catenda to see if we can find a drawing. So we're going to go to the project again, And I think I just want to search for it this time. So we're going to go to site there and find ourselves a site plan, demolition, site layout. This looks good. The miscellaneous one, this one. Yeah, sure. Let's do this. Miscellaneous site layout. Download. Okay, so here we have documents received again. We can close the tab. Now if we go back to Solibri, we can say, is there a miscellaneous? Let's put it as process. Well, it's landscape probably, right? Site plan, landscape. Great. Okay. So now we have a drawing, and let's see if we can get that drawing in 3D. So we can right-click our model and then click on drawings. There we go. Select the drawing that you want to apply and click OK. So there's our drawing in 3D. It's not exactly aligned. So let's just really quickly align it. Click on drawings, click on the drawing itself, and then we're going to pick 2 dimensions. So let's see, our building is here and here, and the edges of our buildings are here and here. I am happy with that. Okay, that looks good. All right, so our drawing is now where our building is, and everything looks great. Great. We are now at a state where I feel like my file is coming along pretty well, I'd like to say. And I want to share with my colleague, look, I aligned the drawing. Isn't it amazing? And the colleague is like, wow, how did you do that? I'm like, I could tell you, or I could just share the file to Catenda and you could download it. Oh my God. So we're going to go to file again, and we're now going to upload model instead. So the model has modified, so we first have to save it. There we go. Save it on the desktop. Saved. Great. Okay, now that the model has been saved locally, we can upload it to Catenda. So we find our project. There we go. And let's see. Let's make a new folder here. Is that possible? We could put it in various, I guess. Put it in various, making it a new document here. Looked like there's some other SMC files here already. Okay, that's a good place to put it next to. Document upload info received. You can close this tab. Closed it. Okay. So let's leave our model on Catenda for now, and let's look at what we can do here. So we now have these models and documents that we have in Solibri, and I am very curious what's going to happen if this gets updated somehow in Catenda. So maybe we should go look at how a document could be updated in Catenda. So let's look at that. So let's navigate to the project here. So we're going to hub.catenda.com, where we are logged in with the wrong account. So we're going to log in with the right account. That's better. And navigate to our project. Here we go. And let's see if we can find that PDF, for example. So that PDF was called site. And it was in the miscellaneous folder, right? So it was site layout plan. This one. Okay. Here we go. So here's our model. Here's our document in Catenda Hub. And let's say somebody has been working on this document. Somebody has annotated the documents, made some comments on it. So we're gonna quickly add a comment. Let's see. Let's add a comment. Maybe here. Okay. And then we say curb needs to be moved, for example. So here's the comment. What I want to do is I want to then download this PDF there. But instead of downloading it, I'm going to click on Save As and choose to include the annotations, because then I get the comment as well as the document. So I'm going to upload a new revision to this file, because this is just the regular document with a comment on it. But once I upload the document with the comment, you'll be able to see that the new revision has the comment on it already. So let's see. I'm going to click on New Revision and find my drawing. There we go. I'm going to keep the existing document name. Sure. Upload it. There we go. So now there's a comment on this model. So on this document. So if I refresh the page, that comment will stay. I could also add this to an issue and assign it to someone, but we'll look at issues in a second. Let's keep to documents for now. What I'm curious about to see change is that our document has updated. So if I go back to Solibri, something should happen, right? Let's see. If I take my document and then update it, there, click on Update. Okay. Now it is version number 2. Okay, so let's see if I apply the drawings again. The location of the drawings, the way I outline it. Is it still there? I have to select it. Press OK. Yeah, the location is still there. And see how amazing this is? The PDF comment is in 3D. It just updated. There's now a comment here because somebody commented on my document, and I can see it happening while I'm modeling. The drawings around me are being commented on while I'm modeling. That's just amazing to see that be possible in this day and age. Really cool. So yeah, of course, the same thing can happen to models. So somebody has changed the model, you update it, and the objects appear or disappear depending on what has changed. So this is a really, really powerful tool. Now there's one last step to make this even better. Wow, it can get better? That's right. Because Catenda has this application called the desktop connector. So here in the bottom left, you see the desktop connector. So I'm going to show you what this desktop connector can do for you. So we can sign in here, and it's going to open up in the browser again, once again having to allow access. Okay, open up in the desktop connector. So that's going to show up now. And here what I can do is I can choose from my projects. Well, let me just explain what I'm going to do before I do it. So what the desktop connector does is you can set tasks. You can set a periodical download or upload task to make sure that perhaps once a day or once a week or something, that you download all the files from your project. So what we're going to do is we're going to find that file where we put our SMC file in that we're sharing with our colleague, right? Let's see if we can find the project here, and we're going to create a download task. So every Monday, I want to make sure that when there are new models and changes in this various folder here, there, all of that, I want to be sure that I've downloaded all the new folders to my desktop. Select folder. Okay. So I can then save that. Oh, I need to give it a name. Solibri workflow. I can save it there. And so every Monday I will know for a fact I've let my computer run overnight and I have all the latest drawings. Everything has been updated. I see all the comments in all the documents and it's all there. So when I open up Solibri, I don't have to start downloading everything. It's already there. So that's one way to make this even better. Okay, so now that we have a nice file here. Let me hide the desktop connector again. Now that we have a nice file here, a nice workflow, and we are ready to do our tasks with the checking and everything, and we're ready to start talking about what we're doing in Solibri. So that is about communication. So let's switch over and talk about communication now. I want to start off communication in Catenda Hub. So let's go to Catenda Hub and click on the logo here to go to the main page. So I'm going to once again navigate to this project. And then I get taken to the dashboard. So the first thing I see are the different issues that are happening in the project. So when we click on issues here or in the left navigation menu, I can create a new issue. Now, I have a big problem with this one window in the model. As some of you may know from my introduction series, this window is always getting complained about. So we're gonna once again make an issue about the window. I love it. So we're gonna make a new issue and say this window needs to be moved. There we go. I don't know how you can move a window in a wall, but it's going to happen some way or another. And we're going to just submit this. Okay. So, it's in the wrong issue board. This is, that's a type. Let's see what issue board is. Rejected documents. Okay. I'm going to quickly move this issue to my webinar issue board. There we go. Completed. View details. Okay, great. There are some fields that need to be linked. Okay. This is an active issue and it is a clash because it's in the wrong place. Yeah. So we're going to look in Solibri and we're going to confirm that this clash is indeed a problem. So let's look at this issue now and see if we can find it in Solibri. So the question is, how do we find this issue in Solibri? So let's go to Solibri and see what we can do. So in Solibri, you have this tab here that says the BCF Live Connector. If I click on it, it's empty and there's a button to turn it on. So I'm going to click on the button and it allows me to select the project. So what I can do here is I can click on the plus button and I can once again select Catenda from the menu. Catenda. I can give it a name, all projects. There we go. So it selects our server and then all projects. Okay. Now when I select this, I am part of many, many projects, right? So, and I just wanted that one issue. There are so many projects with so many conversations, I don't even know anymore. So an easier way to find the issue board and the issue that you're looking for in the project is I'm going to go back to Catenda now. Here we are in this webinar issue board where all the issues connected to the webinar are located. And I'm going to click on Exchange Issues. When I click on Exchange Issues, I find a link here to BCF client. So if I take this link and instead of just connecting to the Catenda by selecting it, we can still select Catenda, right? But we can then put in the link instead of the link that it gives me. And then we can say webinar issue board. Okay. So if I click on the webinar issue board, then it finds the right project right away. So I can start synchronization. There we go. And it starts loading in all the issues in the board. So if you have a lot of issues in the board, it can take a while for them to start loading. So I recommend keeping your issue board around 200-300 issues to make sure that it doesn't take a long time to load. So let's see if we can find our issue here. I think it was this one, right? Window needs to be moved. Right, this is our issue. So this, right? So when we go back to Catenda, we can click on our issue and we can see, okay, this issue has a active status. It's a clash type. It's requested by me. And let's see, it's assigned to let's see, there's a Catenda webinar user. So let's assign the issue to this user. If we go back to Solibri, we will be able to see that if we scroll down, we can indeed see that it has been assigned. This issue has been synchronized. There's a check mark on the left side here. So that change that we just did is already here. So this is every 20 seconds it synchronizes. We can now collaborate from here, right? Maybe we can add a description. We can say the issue is with the window in the corner. Okay, so you see how it's synchronized, and now it's synchronized. Okay, so if we look at Catenda again, yeah, it's been updated. I didn't even refresh the page, it just updated. We can add a second floor label here. So we're going a little bit back and forward now, but we're just adding different options on each side. What I want to do is I want to find the window. So the window we're going to be complaining about, let's see if I can find it. It's this one. Here we go. This is our window. This is the culprit. So we want to move this window. So we're going to select the window, and we're going to add a viewpoint by clicking on this house with a plus button. There we go. So when we go back to Catenda now, refresh the page, maybe it has to synchronize still. Yeah. So if I refresh the page, here we go. So then we get a screenshot from Solibri in Catenda Hub. So other people from the project will be seeing what you're doing in Solibri. And in Catenda Hub, I can then also play this. Here we go. It's going to load the model. And as you can see, the model has been loaded. We see the same model, right? So this model that we downloaded from Catenda Hub has been selected and loaded in 3D. So what's valuable about this is that anyone that has access to the project can load this model and click on play and see exactly what you were seeing, right? Be at the same camera position, have the same model or models, if there's multiple, open. And, you know, if they're working in their own project, in their own software, then they have the same model and they see the same things. So this is really valuable. So we can then say, okay, the window has been found. So now that we know that, we can add a comment. So on the top here, we can click on comments. We can say the window has been found. There we go. Comment. So if I close the 3D viewer in Catenda and refresh the page, you'll see that it has to synchronize still. Refresh one more time. The window has been found. There's our comment. Great. So that's what issues can look like if the issue was first made in Catenda and then we edited in Solibri. But we can do it the other way around as well. We can make issues from Solibri right away. And this is interesting because, I mean, you could just make an issue and say, oh, the weather is great. But say that I am doing like my model check, right? Let's see if we can find a component check, for example, clearance in front of windows. That sounds great. Let's see if we can run this check model. All right, so I've now checked my model, and it seems like the wall is too close to a window component right over here. So if I want to make an issue about this, what I can do is I can go to communication, and I can make a new presentation. I can make a presentation from the checking results that I just did. and say, okay, there's a clash with window, right? And this is looks a lot similar to the issue, but this is not yet an issue, is what's important to understand. So this is a presentation, which is the Solibri version of an issue. It's still local. If we want to share this with the project, we can click on a new issue. Let's see. We can go to the BCF Live connector and we can make a new issue in the BCF Live connector. So we can then import the issue from Solibri. Let's see if we can find the issue here. Okay, we've selected it, and we can import the selected issue. Okay. Yeah. There was no open status in my issue board, so I want to set it to active instead. Right, the Catenda issue board here. So the Catenda issue, this was a clash. So I'm going to assign it clash and say clash with the window. Okay, it found the information I had, and it's going to synchronize it with the project. Let's wait for it to synchronize here. There, it's now synchronized. So when I open up this back in the webinar issue board, I can click on clash with window and I can click on play. There we go. And as you see, the same objects as I'm seeing in Solibri, those same objects are also loaded in Catenda Hub. So that's one way to make issues from a clash. With that, I'd like to thank everyone for following along in this series of webinars, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Okay? Thank you for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.